UK Guns here. So today I'm down at the Bluefield Sports gun room. So big shout out to them for letting me come down today, because I've come down to have a look at this rifle, which is the Guncraft 22 WMR semi-automatic rifle. If you may have seen the video where I shot this rifle a few weeks ago, if not, I'll link that in the description, along with Bluefield Sports Facebook page as well. So go and give those guys a like for helping us out with the video today. So we're going to take a little bit of a closer look at the rifle. It's quite an impressive rifle. I really enjoyed shooting it when I came down and shot it before. This one has got lots of accessories on it, so I'll tell you as we go through it kind of what's standard and what isn't really, because there's quite a few add-ons on this rifle. So as I said, this is the Guncraft 22 WMR. Now, for those of you not familiar with the 22 WMR cartridge, it's a 22 rimfire cartridge, but it's more powerful. It's a higher velocity cartridge. I've got a couple here to show you. So this here is a 22 LR, which is the 22 long rifle, and this here is your 22 WMR. So as you can see, they're the same size projectile, but the cartridge is a lot bigger. And what that equates to, obviously, is higher velocity. So a 22 LR, typically, depending on the load, you're typically looking around 1200, 1250 feet per second. Again, there's a lot of variation with 22 WMR, but you're normally closer to 2000 feet per second, which obviously puts it right in the middle between 22 LR and 223, which is about 3000 feet per second. So this is kind of a middle ground gun between 223 and 22 LR. But of course, because this is 22 rimfire, this is still a semi-automatic rifle, which is also a benefit. So you can shoot this accurately up to about 300 yards and beyond if you're a good shot, of course. Whereas 22 LR, you wouldn't normally shoot it at much above 100 yards. So again, with this rifle, you can shoot much further distances quite accurately. And again, with it being semi-automatic, that just is that extra benefit as well. So a pretty nice rifle. So this is from Guncraft Ltd, which you can find online. So far as I know, they're one of the only companies really at the moment in the UK making a 22 WMR AR15. And it's been a long road to get there. This rifle has been through a lot of upgrades and development. The 22 WMR cartridge is notorious for being unreliable in semi-automatic rifles. And Guncraft have worked very, very hard to make this pretty reliable, which is quite impressive for 22 WMR. It uses these Black Dog 14 round magazines. Again, a lot of development has gone into these with slightly different feed lips and things that they've developed in order to get this to run as reliably as possible. 14 rounds obviously isn't as much as some of the 22 LR rifles have, like 20, 25 or even 30 round magazines. But again, that comes down to the 22 WMR and its unreliability, especially when it's in larger capacity magazines. So it's gone through a lot of changes, and they've spent a lot of time, effort and money in researching and developing this rifle. And from what I've seen, I've only shot a couple of magazines through it, but it was pretty reliable and it was definitely a lot of fun. And what I like about this rifle is it's still the AR15 platform, so everything's customizable, just like with any other AR15. You can change out your stock, your pistol grips, your hand guards, all those kinds of things, charging handles and all that stuff. This is slightly different to most 22 LR AR15s in that it has a functioning buffer spring, and I'll show you that when we take the rifle apart shortly. But it works in pretty much the same way as a normal 22 LR. It's blowback, it's not gas operated, there's no gas system, it's blowback operated, but it uses a buffer spring rather than a spring that's built into the bolt carrier assembly. It does have a buffer spring in the buffer tube. Obviously it's not a 223 buffer spring because of the lower power, but it works very, very much the same way. So let's talk about the features of the rifle. So just like any other AR15 really, obviously we've got your magazine release catch over here, safety catches on this side, 90-degree safety catch like you would get on most AR15s. This one does have a bad lever, Magpul bad lever Obviously that doesn't come on it as standard, that's an addition, along with the mag load magwell, that's also been added. It does have a last round manual hold open, so the bolt does hold back. That's a manual hold open. It does catch on the follower on the magazines. So when the last round is fired, it does hold open on the follower, but that's on the follower of the magazine and then needs to be manually held open. I've been doing some reading online, and from what I've read, they are researching ways to make the automatic hold open function work with the magazines as well. So that's something they're looking into, but at the moment it's a manual hold open. But you've still got that bolt hold open and of course the bolt release, which functions as intended. It strips down just like any other AR-15 as well. On this one, obviously it's got this vortex scope on here and the cantilever mount. Obviously that's not a standard, that was added onto this rifle along with these flip up sights. It's got a Magpul angled foregrip, which is very nice. I like the angled foregrip, it's very comfortable for shooting, especially on the AR-15 platform. And this one of course also has added this torch, and it also has a bipod mount. Again, those were added and don't come on the rifle as standard. The standard rifle comes with the A1 style stock and pistol grip. So these Magpul MOE stock and pistol grips have also been added. So the standard rifle comes with the A1 ones, but it comes with this handguard and flash eliminator, etc. All in all, it's a nice rifle. It's all metal, it's mil spec. The lower and upper receiver are mil spec. So it's got a fair bit of weight to it, but it's not overly heavy, but it's quite a nice weight rifle. It feels pretty good to hold. It's also got functioning forward assist. Not that you will probably need that for 2.2, but it's got functioning forward assist, and of course this functioning dust cover as well. So let's take it apart and have a look inside and see how that differs from some other rifles that we would have come across. So inside here, we've got the bolt carrier assembly, charge handle. That's a standard AR-15 charge handle, so that can be swapped out with things like ambidextrous charge handles, scythe charge handles, those kinds of things, which is pretty cool. And then of course we've got the buffer spring here. So it strips down just like any other AR-15, but obviously unlike things like the Smith & Wesson 1522, it does have this buffer spring, where the Smith & Wesson does not have a buffer spring. So the buffer tube is sealed and you can't get into it. So there's your buffer spring. Very similar to a 223 AR-15 buffer spring, but the buffer itself is obviously slightly different, but works in very much similar way. And the bolt carrier assembly looks extremely similar to a 223 bolt carrier assembly. As you can see there's even the gas key, which is obviously where that's just there for the charge handle to hook onto to cycle the bolt. So obviously there's a gas key, but this is not a gas operated gun, it's a blowback operated gun. And the front of the bolt carrier assembly, which you can see there, looks very, very similar to the Smith & Wesson bolt carrier assembly. Even has the same guides on it there, so possibly that's how it started out life. That's a bolt carrier assembly there. Very, very similar really to a full bore 223 AR-15. The only difference being, as I say, this is a blowback operated gun and not gas operated. So put the rifle back together. Very, very easy, very simple to put together, just like any other AR-15. Charging handle goes in, and then your bolt carrier assembly goes in behind it. There you go. Nice and easy. So, all in all, I think this is a fantastic looking rifle. As I say, this one's from Guncraft. So far as I know, they're the only ones in the UK doing 2.2 AR-15s. You do get some other, there are some other 2.2 semi-automatic rifles. I think CZ have got one and a couple of other companies, but as I say, not that many 2.2 WMR semi-automatic rifles because of the notorious unreliability of the cartridge. A lot of companies have steered clear of semi-automatic rifles, but Guncraft are making really, really good headway with this, and I think we'll be seeing more of these in the UK shooting scene very, very soon. Once again, big shout out to Bluefield Sports for letting me come down today to their gun room, have a look close up of the rifle, and coming down and using their facilities today. So go and give them a like, and as always,